Every day, in every school, every administrator faces enormous challenges coming from every conceivable angle. Aging school buildings, chronic absenteeism, early dropout, teacher burnout. You know the list. To be clear, I do not have solutions to these problems. If I did, seriously, they'd have given me 18 minutes, not just 8. But even as all of society's woes show up at the schoolhouse doors every morning, we know that there are some schools that aren't just succeeding, but are thriving. And I believe all of those schools have something in common. Before I tell you some stories about schools and the opportunity that I see for education, let me explain where my unique perspective comes from. Today, I'm the executive director of the Delaware Charter Schools Network. I have the benefit of advocating for those fabulous girls you got to see up here earlier. But I did not start my career inside a school building. I started working inside restaurants, inside hotels, and occasionally inside bunny suits. Inside bunny suits. For those of you that have never seen the inside of a bunny suit, it's exactly what you think. Hot, sweaty, and totally fun. When you work in hospitality, and you're doing it well, you do whatever it takes to go above and beyond the guests' expectations, whether that's cleaning up a mess or letting a kid sit on your lap and pull on your ears. When I began my career as an education advocate, my 20 years in the hospitality industry allowed me to see this. Schools that follow a classic hospitality mindset are thriving. This is true in all kinds of schools. I've seen it in charter schools, in district schools, and in private schools across Delaware and around the United States. In many cases, I'm not even sure that the leaders of these schools would use the language of hospitality to describe what they're doing. To these people, good hospitality just comes naturally. You all know people like this, that friend or family member who sets you at ease when you come to visit, gets you a drink, makes you feel comfortable and cared for. That's a hospitality mindset. From the beginning of my career, I instinctively understood that mindset. But it wasn't until I worked for my very first Marriott food and beverage director, Kurt Singer, that I had words for it. He taught me his mantra, and it has stayed with me since. Take care of the guest, take care of the equipment, take care of each other. Taking care of the guest. Anticipate their needs. Make them feel comfortable. Make them feel cared for. Whatever it takes. Taking care of the equipment. How your space looks and feels is vitally important. And taking care of each other. The staff are the most important aspect of any operation. If they aren't happy, aren't trained, aren't prepared, then they aren't going to want to or be able to take care of the guest. So what does this have to do with education? Let me tell you 3 stories of where I've seen hospitality in action in our schools. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to attend an end-of-the-year celebration. The school was celebrating the incredible growth that their students had achieved that year. One student, a 5th grade boy, had gone from the absolute bottom of his class to the top in just 1 year. I happened to be sitting next to one of his teachers and turned to her and asked, "How?" Her answer? "We went to his ball games." Those teachers and that principal realized that what this boy needed most wasn't instruction. It was encouragement. And that's what they gave him in the stands, on the weekend, on the classroom, cheering him on. His self-confidence improved and his grades followed. That's taking care of the guest, doing whatever you need to do to get it done. In another school, a new principal opened a closet door one day and found her knight in shining armor. her literal knight in shining armor, the school's mascot standing guard behind closed doors. When she asked why I was there, she was told, if we put it out, the kids might destroy it. She refused to believe that and put him right in the main hallway at the front door. She even dressed him for the seasons, a pumpkin at Halloween, a scarf in the winter. The knight became a focal point for the kids who greeted him every morning, a rallying point for that school. That's taking care of the equipment. And pride, it's contagious. And while it's common practice in elementary schools for students to stay with the same teacher for all core subjects until about the 4th grade, in one school, 2 third-grade teachers went to their principal and asked if they could change the way they taught their classes. They told him that they believed they could create better student outcomes if they were able to concentrate on the subjects that they were strongest in. You see, one, amazing with English and social studies, while the other, whiz at math and science. The principal listened, and it worked. He gave them the space to go against tradition. The teachers were able to use their strengths wisely, and the students excelled. That's taking care of each other. Making sure that your staff is happy, valued, and listened to, that's what everyone wants from their chosen career. So how do you create a hospitality mindset? You can't just tell people, be friendly, be helpful, and move on. I know, I tried. It did not work. But if you start with actions, intentional actions, designed to get people thinking, how can I do better? And how can I do more? That can lead to a shift in mindset. Like in the 3 stories I just told you. Those administrators were intentional about taking care of their students, their building, and their teachers. Your actions can lead to attitude, and your consistent attitude infuses into your culture and becomes your hospitality mindset. Where you start will be different from school to school. Elementary school students have different needs than high school students. A large school in a large school district is going to have different challenges and resources than a small charter school just starting up. All hotels are different too. Ritz-Carlton has more chandeliers than the Days Inn. But you can provide good hospitality regardless of the amount of money that you have. It's not about what you have, it's about what you do with what you have. Wherever I went, no matter the place, if things were going wrong, I would always ask, are we taking care of the guest? Are we taking care of the equipment? Are we taking care of each other? If things aren't working, I can guarantee you that the answer to at least one of those is no. And wherever that is where you start. Now, I know I told you that I don't have the answers to all of the challenges in education today. But could a hospitality mindset be part of the solution? An environment where good hospitality is the norm creates an environment where problems can be solved. If we are constantly and intentionally looking for ways to make our families and our students feel welcomed and cared for, could that affect absenteeism and our dropout rate? Maybe. If we believe in our schools so much that our pride is obvious in every hallway, in every classroom, could that create a school where kids are thriving, learning, and yearning to come to school every day? Maybe. And if we are pushing alongside of our colleagues to improve, listening to them, pushing them to reach their full potential, could that affect teacher retention? Maybe. Small changes based in hospitality can make a big difference in our students' lives. All you have to do is take the knight in shining armor out of the closet. Thank you.